Welcome to Quick Bytes, the lunchtime live stream with your tech integration specialist, Scott Conway. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today on this episode of Quick Bytes. We're going to discuss the configuration of notifications in Google Classroom, and we're going to do this both from the desktop version of Google Classroom as well as the mobile version of Google Classroom. So I'll show you both of those today, but I get a lot of people who ask me, or at least confess that the notifications in Google Classroom are crazy. I'm getting bings and bangs and all over the place, and it's just crazy. And I always tell them, hey, do you know that you can actually configure those notifications? You can turn them on, turn them off. You can really pick and choose what you want to be notified of. And so we're going to do that today. Shouldn't take us very long to go in and show you where these are located. And like I said, we'll do it from the desktop version as well as the mobile version. So let's get into this. I'm going to go over to Google Classroom and begin right from the dashboard here. I apologize. Just as a reminder, there is, for those of you who are joining us live, questions out to the right of the video that you can pose, and we'll try to get to those by the end of the session. Okay, from the Google Classroom dashboard, we are going to go to the three lines in the upper left-hand corner. Remember, the three lines or three dots in the Google world means there's more, something else. There's a menu of some sort. You can do additional things. And we're going to click on that, and you can see the sidebar that pops out here. You've got your classes. That's the dashboard we're currently on. You could directly go to calendar, where you can see all of the calendars attached to all of these. And then here are the ones that I am teaching, the classes that I'm teaching, and then the classes that I'm enrolled in as a student. Because even as an adult, we tend to find that this works well for collegial groups and working with your colleagues to kind of stay up on certain things. So this works well for professional learning as well. So you get your archive classes, and then all the way at the bottom here is settings. So we're going to go ahead and click on settings, and there's really not much in here other than notifications, and mine are turned on. But if you come in here, you can really see if it's off right, when you arrive at this point. There's really nothing here. So you do have to turn notifications on. And then as you do that, depending on whether you are a teacher of a class or a student of a class or both, some of these things will kind of roll out to you. So if you are not enrolled in any classes, you will not see this section right here where it says classes you're enrolled in, because you're not enrolled in any. Google intuitively hides it, so you won't even see that. Comments up here at the top pretty much are on all the time, because that doesn't matter. That's if you're in and you've got a class created or you're enrolled in one, you'll always get comments. So this section is kind of always there. And you can see you can individually turn these on or toggle them off. And comments with regard to comments on your posts, comments that mention you, or private comments on work, specifically in a class. So you can toggle those on and off. And then as you move down, again, I said if you're enrolled in a class as a student, maybe as a professional collegial setting, you can turn these on and off as well. So if you're using this as maybe grade level or department level meetings, or a platform to kind of host all of that, you can turn these notifications on and off. And then the classes that you obviously teach, that you're the teacher and you have students enrolled in, you can also get your notifications turned on and off there as well. And these notifications are going to come through as email. You saw it right at the top, email notifications. That's all there is. There is no other web-based notification. It is simply email. Okay. And then down below, and it might not start like that, but you'll see there's class notifications. Turn email and mobile notifications on or off for a class. So now this crosses over into the mobile application here. So I can actually disable for an entire class right here. So I don't have to have them on for everything. Back in the day when this first rolled out, it was all on or all off. Now you can really pick and choose which class you turn it on for. So if you're a co-teacher in another class and the primary or lead teacher is doing most of the work, most of the kind of day-to-day kind of work with the students, they probably will be the ones to turn on notifications. You can selectively turn that class off for notification and still stay enrolled. So you can still pop in, check on things, take a look at things, but you don't necessarily need to be bombarded with the onslaught of notifications for that class. So rather than asking to be removed from the class, maybe you just silence your notifications for it. So that is the notifications on the desktop version or web-based version of Google Classroom. Again, from the dashboard, it is in the upper left-hand corner, 3 lines all the way down to settings. And then you can turn them on and pick and choose based on what you, how you use Google Classroom. And then you've got your override down here at the bottom, class by class. So now I am going to show you how to do this on the mobile version. So give me a second to give me 1 second. I gotta make sure this is installed and running. Gotta double check. Here we go. Okay, sorry for that delay. And let's go full screen. Okay, sorry for the delay. Here we go. So here is Google Classroom on the mobile device. Again, this mobile app, if you don't have it, is phenomenal. It is almost a one-to-one from the web-based version to the mobile version. There's really not much you cannot do. You can pretty much do everything right from your mobile phone. Not that you necessarily want to, but in a pinch, it works really well. So here it is. Again, 3 lines in the upper left-hand corner. And you can see that this looks pretty much the same as it does on the web. Go down to settings, and then in there is your notifications. And here they are, email notifications turned on. So you can kind of do this holistically for the entire thing. Class notifications, it's up at the top in the mobile version, whereas it was below in the other. I'm going to skip over device notifications. We'll talk about that in a second. But then you get to your comments, classes you're enrolled in, classes you teach. So it's a little different order than the web-based version because the class notifications is towards the top versus the bottom. But then you also have in here the device notifications, and you can see it's enabled. When I tap on that, you'll go into the actual notifications for your phone, your mobile device, and in this case, you would have to turn those notifications on, and here it is under notifications, and this is an iPhone, but you can turn on lock screen, notification center, banners, and so on. This would be specific to your iOS phone or your Android phone, but that is where you kind of get to that stuff. So again, from a mobile device, you've not only got your email notification capability, but now you've got the added extra layer of push notifications or device notifications in this case. And again, you'll get these whether it's an Android or an iPhone, doesn't really matter. So those are your notifications from the mobile version here, and you can kind of come right back out to the front. So that is Google Classroom notifications and how to configure them. I'm going to switch back to, here we go. We'll close that out, switch back over to the desktop version. That is how you can go about configuring your notifications so that you're not necessarily bombarded with every class's notifications. And like I said, if you're a co-teacher, you might want to silence one class. And then within your classes, pick and choose what you get. And that's, again, it's a personal preference, but now you know how to get to all of it and configure it. I don't see any questions coming in today. So that takes us to the end of our session. I thank you for joining us and hope you will join us in the future.